Fujifilm is about to drop 5 major cameras in 2026, and honestly, this could be the biggest year for the X series in a long time. We're talking the X-T6, X-Pro 4, X100VII, X-S30, and X-H3, all potentially running on Fujifilm's brand new 6th generation platform. Now look, some of this is confirmed, some is solid rumor, and some is educated speculation. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's coming, when to expect it, and whether you should buy now or wait. Let's get into it. Let's start with the camera everyone's been asking about, the X-T6. According to Fujirumors, and they've got a strong track record, the X-T6 is coming in the second half of 2026. I know, that feels like forever from now. And honestly, based on Fujifilm's historical release patterns, we probably should have seen the X-T6 by late 2024 or early 2025. So what's going on? Two things. First, tariff. There's been a lot of uncertainty around import costs, especially in the US market. Second, and this is the bigger one, Fujifilm is clearly working on their 6th generation platform. New sensor, new processor, the whole package. And that takes time to get right. The X-T5 is already an incredible camera. 40 megapixels, fantastic image quality, those beautiful retro dials. So the X-T6 needs to justify its existence with something more than incremental upgrades. What are we expecting? Better autofocus, probably approaching what Sony and Canon offer now. Faster readout speeds to reduce rolling shutter. Improved IBIS. Maybe a higher resolution EVF. And almost certainly better video capabilities with improved heat management. One rumor that has been clarified recently is the 80 megapixel claim, which reliable sources have now dismissed. According to trusted reports, this information isn't accurate. Instead, expectations are that the X-T6 will feature a high-resolution sensor in the 40 to 45 megapixel range, possibly with a partially stacked design to deliver faster performance and improve responsiveness. This points to Fujifilm focusing on real-world speed and image quality rather than just chasing headline numbers. If you're currently shooting on an X-T3 or X-T4, the X-T6 might finally be the upgrade worth waiting for. But if you're on an X-T5, you might want to skip this generation entirely. This one's for the purists. The X-Pro line is Fujifilm's love letter to rangefinder shooters, and we haven't had an update since the X-Pro 3 dropped back in 2019. That's ancient in camera years. Fujifilm has officially confirmed that a successor to the X-Pro 3 is in development. They've mentioned high expectations from both the company and consumers. That's corporate speak for, we know we need to nail this one. Now here's the interesting question. Will it be called the X-Pro 4, X-Pro 5, or even X-Pro 6? Fujifilm's been playing with naming lately. Look at how the X-T50 jumped ahead of the X-T40. So don't be surprised if they skip straight to X-Pro 5 to align with the current generation naming. Will it keep the hybrid viewfinder? I'd bet yes. That's the defining feature of the X-Pro line. Some people speculated that after Leica ditched the optical finder on the MEV1, Fujifilm might follow. But I don't think so. The hybrid OVF is what makes the X-Pro special. What about that hidden rear screen from the X-Pro 3? Controversial choice, but it actually helped differentiate the camera. My guess is it stays, maybe with a small secondary display for film simulation info, like on the X-Half. Speculation from Fuji X Weekly suggests the X-Pro 5 might even get an aspect ratio dial like the GFX 100RF. Imagine having X-Pan mode built in. That would be incredible for street and landscape shooters. Some insiders think the X-Pro could actually be the first camera to debut the 6th generation platform, possibly early 2026. That would make it the flagship announcement of the X100, the camera that broke the internet. The X100VI is still nearly impossible to find at retail, and when you do find it, there's usually a waiting list. This thing went absolutely viral. So, when's the X100VII coming? Here's the reality check. Fujirumors has confirmed that no 6th generation cameras are launching in 2025, and the X100VII would need that new platform to make sense. Best guess is put around late 2027 or early 2028. Yeah, I know, that's a long wait. But the X100VI literally just came out in February 2024 and has that 40-megapixel sensor with IBIS. There's not much to improve on the imaging side. The one thing people really want? A new lens. The current 23mm f/2 is good, but at 40 megapixels, you can see it's not quite sharp enough in the corners to fully resolve that sensor. A redesigned, sharper lens would be the dream upgrade. Otherwise, expect the usual, better autofocus from the 6th gen processor, improved battery life, maybe better video specs. Nothing revolutionary, just refinement. And honestly, that's probably fine for what the X100 is, a timeless, carry-everywhere camera that doesn't need to reinvent itself every generation. If you can find an X100VI right now, buy it. Don't wait for the 7. Here's one that flew under the radar. Fujifilm has discontinued the X-S30 in Japan. And when Fujifilm discontinues a camera, it usually means the successor is coming. The X-S30 was Fujifilm's video-focused hybrid. PSM controls, 6.2K recording, vari-angle screen, basically everything a vlogger or content creator needs. It's been one of their best-selling cameras for the hybrid crowd. So what's the X-S30 bringing? If I had to guess, and this is speculation, we might see the 40-megapixel sensor from the X-T50 and X100VI finally make its way into this body. That would be huge for video shooters who also want high-resolution stills. Other likely improvements: better autofocus with the 6th gen processor, improved cooling for longer recording times, and maybe even some computational features we haven't seen yet. Fujifilm's been pretty conservative with AI features compared to Sony, so there's room to grow. Timeline is unclear, but I wouldn't be surprised to see an announcement sometime in late 2026, possibly after the flagship models have launched. If you're a content creator waiting for the ultimate Fujifilm hybrid, the X-S30 might be worth the wait. Now let's talk about the big dog. The X-H3 is Fujifilm's pro-level flagship, and this is where things get really interesting for serious shooters. Currently, Fujifilm has a two-camera strategy at the top. The X-H2 for high resolution, and the X-H2S for speed. Both launched in 2022. Whether they continue that split or merge into one hybrid beast for the X-H3, we don't know yet. What we do expect: a new 6th generation platform, potentially with a partially or fully stacked sensor for faster readout. Better internal cooling. 8K video is almost certainly on the table. An autofocus that can finally compete head-to-head with Sony and Canon's best. This is where Fujifilm needs to make a statement. The X-H2S autofocus is good, but it's not Sony A9 III good. It's not Canon R3 good. For sports, wildlife, and professional video work, Fujifilm has been playing catch-up. The X-H3 is their chance to close that gap. Fuji rumors suggest the X-H3 could be one of the first 6th gen cameras, possibly arriving in 2026 before the X-T6. That would make sense strategically. Launch your pro camera first, then trickle down the tech to consumer models. If you're a working professional shooting video or sports, this is the one to wait for. But fair warning, it's probably 12 to 18 months away at minimum, and it won't be cheap. So let's bring it all together. 2026 is shaping up to be a massive year for Fujifilm. We're expecting the 6th generation platform to finally debut, bringing major improvements to autofocus, video, and processing speed across the entire lineup. The X-T6, X-Pro 5, and X-H3 are the most likely 2026 releases. The X-S30 might slip into late 2026 or early 2027. And the X100VII, that's probably a 2027 or 2028 story. If you're wondering whether to buy now or wait, here's my honest take. If a current Fujifilm camera does what you need, buy it and enjoy it. These cameras don't become worse when new ones come out. The X-T5, X-H2, X100VI, they're all fantastic right now. But if you're specifically waiting for major autofocus improvements or next-gen features, yeah, 2026 is going to be an exciting year. The 6th generation platform could be a significant leap. If you found this useful, hit that like button. It really does help the channel. Subscribe if you want more camera content, and drop a comment telling me which of these cameras you're most excited about. Personally, I can't wait to see what they do with the X Pro 5. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.